Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling, your ultimate destination for all things WWE. Whether you're a hardcore wrestling fanatic or just a casual viewer, we've got you covered with the latest news, in-depth show reviews, and our unfiltered opinions on everything happening in the world of professional wrestling. Get ready to step into the ring with us and stay on top of the wrestling world. This is Top Tier Wrestling. Welcome to Top Tier Wrestling. I'm your host, Josh, the Titan of Takedowns, and joining me, as always, is my powerhouse co-host, the Siren of Spinebusters, Dawn. Tonight, we're covering WWE RAW from July 21st. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Now, this episode of RAW was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
And it's coming to us from the Toyota Center here in Houston, Texas. So we will have, at least coming into the show, you and I both thought, man, this is going to be a pander fest. And it was a little bit. It wasn't as bad as SmackDown.
No. I'll give them that. It was not as bad as SmackDown. But it was still like, stop kissing my butt, please. Get your lips off my butt. Off my cheeks.
SmackDown was balls deep, whereas Raw was only unzipping the pants. I mean, that's the distinction I can make. But we opened the segment with my favorite wrestler in the whole wide world, CM Punk.
Oh, he wasn't that bad. He hardly even got a chance to say shit, to be perfectly honest.
That makes me think they understand. They're like, shut him the hell up immediately. Anyway, CM Punk comes out and is saying words.
He does say
blah,
words.
blah, Houston, blah, blah, Houston. And he says, last week I won a gauntlet match that made me the number one contender to Gunter's World Heavyweight Championship. And then he blew smoke up Gunter's butt, talking about how he's one of the best wrestlers in the world. And he's looking very forward to, locking up with Gunter. And he says he can't promise a win because Gunter is like the best wrestler in the world. And I guess he pep talked himself by saying, no, then I remembered I'm CM Punk. And I'm like, that's unfortunate. And he says, you are prepared. You're CM Punk. So Gunter and whatever fans he may have, understand I'm not just any other wrestler or any other challenger. I'm the best in the world. So it was like a whole lot of Houston, best in the world. Gunter is a badass, Gunter. But I'm also the best in the world. That sums up CM Punk's promo.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. Gunter comes out, and shockingly, CM Punk doesn't have anything else to say. Like, he doesn't cut him off. He doesn't even really follow up. He just lets Gunter come out and say, let's cut to the chase. And this was difficult. Like, for the first minute that Gunter was in the ring, he tried to start saying what he wanted to say, and the crowd would not have it.
Yeah.
They were like, nope. They were Dominic Mysterioing him. He got booed and like repeated chants of "you tapped out." Boy, they remember that.
Yeah, they are not gonna forget when you tapped out, homeboy.
Like ever, never. He'll be in an old folks' home, and somebody will be like, "You tapped out, Sonny."
Yeah, remember that time you tapped out?
'Cause I do. I can't remember my kids' names, but I remember your bitch ass tapping out.
Knock, knock, who's there? It's you tapping out.
Oh, and by the way, Sonny, eat.
What's 2 + 2? You tapping out? Like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Ah, but when he did finally get a chance to speak, he says, "Look, Punk, I'm not out here to throw insults at you. I didn't come out here to create any drama. But we do have some similarities here. We're both here for the same reason, not to make friends, but to make money and win championships. You consider yourself the best in the world. I consider myself the best in the world. You've got a massive ego, and you've been away for 10 years. Every week they chanted your name, so I don't blame you for your big ego. But Punk, the thing is, my ego, my massive ego is justified because unlike yours, it's not based on anything. My ego is based on results. So essentially, long story short, he's saying, until you're wearing this championship belt, you ain't the best in the world, son. To which the
Mike.
crowd responded, hey, you remember that time you tapped out?
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, I bet you forgot you tapped out. You bitch ass tapping out bitch.
Best tap out in the world. And Gunter goes on to say he only focuses on what happens after that bell rings. And at SummerSlam, the bell will ring. And when it does, I'm going to make you regret that you ever set foot in a professional wrestling ring. I'm going to maul you. I'm going to push you around. I'm going to choke you out. And I'm going to drop you like a wet towel. And then you're going to wake up staring at the lights, realizing I was right and that you'll never be the world heavyweight champion and you'll never be the best in the world.
Damn, bro.
And then he finished it off. This was his mic drop. And he says, but you know what? At least you got these degenerates chanting for you for the rest of your life. And
Damn,
then
bro.
he left. And CM Punk just stood there looking like,
I feel burned.
What is that I smell? Is that my ass on fire?
It's a singe. It's a singeing smell. Is that me? Am I on fire? Am I roasted? Did I just get honey roasted?
Get honey roasted.
And the answer is yeah. Well, I mean, not honey roasted. It wasn't sweet, but you did get roasted. You definitely got roasted.
Yeah. Kettle
The
cooked.
the roasting was quite real. Yeah, kettle cooked. That's you.
Get kettle cooked. That's the new one. Honey roasted is for if it's a sweet roasting. Get kettle cooked is when we want to boil you in oil.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Get kettle cooked.
But following that, Baron Sextant had a backstage interview with Stephanie McClure, and he asks her how she feels about her recent run-ins with Chelsea Green in the Secret Service. And Stephanie says that Chelsea's not her problem. And that's when Naomi joins the conversation. And she introduces herself politely, like a lady, to Stephanie. And she tells her that
or whatever your name is.
Vacware, vacuum cleaner, Stephanie Vacuum. And Naomi says that she'll be facing her at Clash in Paris if she should manage to beat Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at SummerSlam. And she says she's going to do what Stephanie Vaquer couldn't do, and that's beat Io Sky. And I'm trying to remember what Stephanie said in response, but it kind of pissed Naomi off, and she says, "Oh, so you want to be a smart or so smart?" I think she would have said you want to be a smart ass, but you know it's WWE. So Naomi says, "Well, for the record, Io Sky was dog walking you before the match got interrupted."
I mean, true.
And she says, "Now, me personally, I wouldn't have let that slide." See you in Paris, Steph. Which we find out a little later in the show did in fact get under Miss Vickers' skin. But that brings us to our first match, which is the Mighty Mighty Man meat slappy match of Sheamus and Rusev.
So meat slappy.
So meat slappy. This is the rematch, by the way, after
Yeah.
Rusev rammed Sheamus's throat into the exposed turnbuckle to win their last one. I guess Sheamus was like, "Hey, I think you cheated."
Something tells me you didn't win fairly.
Fella.
Hey, yeah, oh, fella. Yeah, you gotta throw that fella in.
Oh, you
Fella!
gotta. Fella. Um, so this is the rematch. And at the beginning of the match, I was like, oh, I think they're making a reasonable feud out of this. So I bet you Sheamus will win.
Oh, yeah.
Because then, if they're tied, they have to have the tiebreaker at SummerSlam. So this was a pretty good match. Like, if you're into watching big dudes drop bombs on each other, and I mean, if you're watching pro wrestling, you kind of have to be. Um, you got your money's worth here. I mean, there was a point where Sheamus ran out of the corner and jumped crotch first into into Rusev's head, and Rusev, not as quickly as probably he should have, powerbombed Sheamus to the mat. What did you say? He took some time to savor the Irish nuts, something like that.
Something like that. He did though. He lingered there, man. He was just like,
He
oh,
lingered. Yeah.
like what is this alluring aroma?
Oh man.
Blood
Blech.
sweat.
Oh God. Is that ginger I smell?
Oh, we here at Top Tier Wrestling Podcast do not condone stereotypes.
That's not true. We wouldn't be able to watch wrestling if we couldn't condone stereotypes because, like, that's 95% of all of the gimmicks.
But Rusev did yell something about cinnamon whenever that move took place.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this was a banger. They went back and forth, beating the crap out of each other. And once again, it kind of signals to me like Sheamus has Rusev's number because Rusev has to resort to cheating to try and beat him.
Mm-hmm.
In their first match, of course, he exposed the turnbuckle and got the win that way. So, since it worked the first time, later in the match, he does the same thing, but it backfires because Sheamus blocks the attempt to slam him into the turnbuckle and instead slams Rusev headfirst into it. And then as he's getting back into the ring, Rusev goes to the other side of the ring where it just so happened that Sheamus's shillelagh was at. And the ref is checking on Sheamus, and Rusev is gearing up to clobber him with this shillelagh behind the ref's back. And as Rusev turns around to try and come hit him with it, Sheamus fires out of the corner and hits him with a huge brogue kick, which fortunately knocked the shillelagh most of the way out of the ring. And the ref then turned around because he had something in his eye for 10 minutes. And then 1, 2, 3, Sheamus picks up the victory. So what did you think of this match?
I thought it was a lot better than okay, it was better than the last match they had, in my opinion. The last match they had was not bad. It was not bad. But maybe I'm partial to Sheamus and I just wanted him to win. Maybe that's it. But I feel like this would felt more evenly distributed. The ass kickery. And I while Sheamus can give as good as he gets, I feel like he was mostly just trying to survive in the last match. And this one, I could be wrong. I felt like he had more of a fight, or more fight in him. Of course, he always does that thing where like he gets hit and he's like, "Come on!" And I don't know why
Right?
wrestlers at all do that.
Like where he's fighting from his knees or on his back and he's like, hit me some more.
Yeah, and it's like, well, you're not really fighting, are you? You're just getting beat up a lot. So can you stop doing that? Just can you stop that
And
though?
this
That
this
part?
isn't how you win a match.
And we're not really liking this part. This part we kind of want you to stop doing.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, no, honestly though, I thought it was a good match. Hella fun. So,
And
and a
I
great way to open the goddamn show for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Starting out with just like intense beating ass action is not a bad way to go.
Yeah.
Um, that said, there was one funny spot I just recalled it just now, and it was
Mhm.
a spot where Rusev was thrown out of the ring, between like the ring and the announce table,
Mhm.
and Sheamus climbs up on the corner. And then stumbles and jumps back into the ring, and then climbs back up to the corner and delivers a flying clothesline.
Yeah.
And Sheamus was goofy about it. He was like, "Whew, I made it." I mean, it's not the worst flub in the world, and he
Right.
recovered nicely from it, but it was funny. So, but
You
yeah,
made it.
a good match.
Yeah.
And following that match, we are returned to Baron Sextant, who had a backstage interview this time with El Grande Americano. And
I'm sitting there thinking, how are you going to pull this off? Uh if, just if. Okay, let's just I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole that Michael Cole course that Michael Cole is
not the Michael
harping
Cole
on.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down there. All right. Let's just say that this is Kaiser and not the regular Grande Americana. Okay. Let's just say. Then
Okay, so
how
this is decaf.
yeah, yes. So how in the world would Kaiser, who has a very thick accent, how is he gonna pull this off? And if it were him, and I'm not saying that it is, I'm just playing the ridiculous game that Michael likes to play. If it were him, uh, this guy spoke fluent Spanish, so I'd
Yeah, so
be
debunked.
extremely impressed. Yeah, debunked.
Debunked. Capital D followed by bunked Michael Cole. I mean, Dragon Lee showed up while he was trying to get an interview in, and
Yeah,
he calls El Grande a fake luchador who continues to disrespect the legacy of Lucha Libre.
unnecessary, by the
But
way.
El Grande wasn't having none of that. And so they cussed at each other in Espanol. And El Grande
Did
Americano had no problems with his Spanish.
well,
So
no.
anybody who is thinking that that's Chad Gable, even though he's gone with a shoulder injury or elbow, shoulder elbow, somewhere in there, it's humorous. Um, or anybody who outlandishly suspects that it's Ludwig Kaiser, like debunked.
Which is
There's
just as
no way.
strange. Yeah,
Like that means Kaiser has more than two languages in one head, and we know that's impossible.
yeah. Now I don't know where Ludwig Kaiser is. I don't know, but I know where he wasn't, and that is he wasn't in Grande Americano's costume.
Yeah,
Freaking weirdos.
Michael Cole, take that.
Yeah, I mean, stop being weird, Michael. Honestly, stop it. This is not a good look for you. This is strange.
So, regrettably, they were not able to, despite the fact that there was no language barrier whatsoever and they were both speaking fluent Spanish, they were not able to talk it out, and it came to blows in a big pull apart brawl. So, sometimes talking just doesn't work.
Well, I mean, it's pretty offensive, I think, to just come up to another lucha and insult him because you don't like him for whatever reason. And
No,
that's pretty much what happened there.
and I mean, you're doubly asking for it. Like, Latino pride is one thing, but he's also El Grande Americano. Like,
Yeah.
he's going to retaliate with excessive force.
Yeah, I don't know what you were expecting.
I mean, it's like a dinghy versus an attack helicopter at that point.
Your lane, stay in it. Just
But,
saying.
Dragon Lee wanted that smoke.
Yeah. Apparently, he can drag in
But
these nuts.
he may have bitten off something a little more spicy than even he is used to. Um, that said, we are taken to the backstage where Lyra Valkyria runs into Bailey, and she's upset that she found out from Adam Pearce. I mean, I'd be upset just talking to Adam Pearce if I was a female superstar because
Probably
that's
just
just not going to
yelled
go
at
well.
her.
Yeah. But she was upset that she found out from Adam that Bailey had made a tag team title request without notifying her. And Bailey says, "Yeah, I made that request so we can have the tag match that we were supposed to have at WrestleMania that never happened." And Lyra rightfully points out, we've been trying to kill each other for the past couple of weeks, and now you want to be tag team partners?
Yeah. Nah, I
And
I
she
can't I can't say that I disagree with her.
she also points out that she would like her focus on the women's intercontinental title match at SummerSlam. But Bailey acts like she heard none of that and says, "Oh, it's all water under the bridge. The game we're playing tonight is winning." And
Yeah.
then she says she's glad Lyra got the memo about matching gear and says she'll see her out there. So Lyra is left at the end of that segment looking confused and justifiably so.
Yeah, no, I thought the same thing. And this whole segment right up to the match that this turns into, it's just weird. It's just weird. I don't understand what the plan is. Uh I'm not sure what she was going for, but huh?
Well, I think sometimes we just have to trust in the beautiful chaos. Because you're right. Like, it seemed like Bailey had an aneurysm between last week and this week. I mean, I'm with you.
Yeah.
But, well, okay.
Yeah. I
However,
mean,
that does not directly lead into the match that you think it would. Instead, it leads to our second match, which is the New Day versus the Creed brothers with Ivy Nile versus the LWO with Dragon Lee in a triple threat match, the winner of which will become the number one contenders for the World Tag Team Championship. And unlike the Street Profits, the former champions, the New Day, got to be in this one.
yeah. Sorry, I felt very strongly about that.
I mean, valid. Why weren't the Street? I mean, was that the week they didn't want the smoke?
Right? I'm so glad they pointed it out too, but then they never answered anything. So, burr.
Yeah. Uh, apparently the Street Profits didn't want the smoke, but the New Day rocks. Um, and in general, my thoughts about this match was that it was a very chaotic match. A lot of interplay between the Creeds and the New Day and the LWO, which, for those who aren't aware, is comprised of Joaquin Wild and I always have trouble with this other dude. Something Cruz del Toro. Cruz del
Yeah.
Toro.
Well done.
And I point them out because notably Del Toro and Wild of the LWO looked especially good in this match. Both of them. I mean, Wild looks like he discovered his gym membership over the last year and has gotten jacked.
Yeah.
But both of them performed admirably. Just to note one particularly nasty high spot was where Cruz del Toro ran up the corner turnbuckle and did an amazing like tornado splash onto like everybody who was outside the ring. It was insane.
Yeah.
And there was also a point where Joaquin Wild was like doing a clinic of trying to show off every version and variation of a DDT that he could achieve on every member of the other team. I want to say he like hit with like a satellite DDT and then a spike DDT and then like a reverse DDT.
Yes. Yeah. He
I
had a
mean, he
DDT
like
for everybody.
yeah, and then I think he countered some other thing with like a combination leaping neck breaker and DDT. So he was like the god of the DDT this evening.
Yeah.
And you know, as the match progressed, it also was very fun to see El Grande Americano show up. Because there was a point where Ivy Nile interfered in the match, and that upset Dragon Lee. And so Dragon Lee started interfering in the match, and that upset El Grande Americano, who came out of nowhere to like peel Dragon Lee off the apron with extreme prejudice, slamming his face into
Yeah.
the apron.
He meant it.
But then the Creed brothers were like, "Who the heck are you?" They have apparently been talking to Michael Cole,
Yeah.
and they
Lost their
don't
minds.
recognize their friend. And Chad Gable's going to be super pissed when he finds out. But
Yeah.
that whole interaction was fun, but it caused enough chaos to allow Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wild to get the better of the other teams, at least briefly. Like it looked like the New Day were going to destroy Joaquin Wild, but he reversed it on him and then ends up getting a quick roll up pin against Kofi Kingston for the 1-2-3.
Yeah.
And so it was a solid match with a very surprising winning team because the LWO almost never wins any matches. Like we jokingly call them the losing world order because they almost never win. And this
Yeah.
was a big one. I mean, now they are the number one contenders for
Yeah.
the tag championships. So well done.
Definitely a large one to win.
Indeed.
And I thought this match this is another one of those matches that ended up becoming a lot better than I thought. And LWO, real talk, they have been bringing it as of late. I don't know if they're getting a push. Maybe that's what's happening. If that's the case, I love it. Let's keep that same energy. They looked amazing.
Yeah.
The
And I
DDT
believe
for everybody
a
winning.
DDT for everybody. Like he was handing them out. DDT for you, DDT for you.
Yeah.
And I think the current champions are the recently appointed Finn Balor and JD McDonough, right?
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, where were the War Raiders on this one?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they got the Street Profit treatment.
Oh man, because they were the weren't they the champs that the Judgment Day beat the titles off of?
Yes.
Or no, it wasn't. The New
Yeah.
Day beat them, and
Wait, isn't that
then
what you
Judgment Day
just hold on.
defeated the New Day. Yeah, I briefly suggested that the New Day, I'm sorry, that Judgment Day had defeated the War Raiders, but that's not accurate. It was the
Oh,
New
I
Day that
see.
had defeated the War Raiders, and then it was Judgment Day that defeated the New Day. So yeah, the War Raiders were not the returning champions. So it's not quite the same scenario as the Street Profits, but it's still surprising to me that they weren't involved here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're too busy making new teams for some reason. As if we don't have enough amazing whatever. Yeah, let's not. Just whatever.
But you mean you don't want to see Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso team up to take the Raw championships?
I didn't say that. I'd watch that.
I
But
mean,
I'd watch that, but I'd feel very bad about it.
I feel bad for the existing teams.
Yes, I'd be like, "Oh, this sucks," but damn, that's cool.
They're like, oh, they got the Andrade Phoenix treatment. Well, suffice it to say, a very good triple threat tag match. Um, After that match and the surprising victory by the LWO, we see the former Damage Control, which is now just Io Sky hanging out with the Kabuki Warriors. And the Kabuki Warriors talk about how they're going to become the women's champs, or Io Sky talks about that of them. And then they say Io's going to be the women's world champion at SummerSlam. And that's when Stephanie Vaquer appears out of nowhere, like an RKO.
Seemingly upset about the
Seemingly
comments.
upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Naomi got to her. And she says that if Io wins, they'll meet at Clash in Paris. And they'll figure out who would have really won their match on Raw after WrestleMania in Las Vegas. And Io says she's looking forward to it. And just as cute as a button, like a kitten, Io also throws in that, for the record, she had Stephanie beat. And
Yeah.
that makes Stephanie visibly upset. And she says, they don't have to wait for Paris. And Io says, that's not a terrible idea. And then she does the pointy point to her head and says she issues a challenge to Stephanie for later on that evening. And Stephanie says, challenge accepted. And the segment ends with Io smiling ear to ear.
Very happy.
Super happy, like all the time.
Yeah, all the time. But she's so adorable.
I mean, you're not wrong. But
Yeah.
like kitten adorable.
No, I mean, I hear you. She's super cute. She really is. And her personality helps with the cuteness.
It does.
Yeah.
And after that, do you want to take this next one?
I mean, sure.
I just feel like I have been talking a bunch, so I'm going to let you do some.
I mean, it's fine with me, but so we have after I'm trying to remember what happened after Stephanie. Oh, I think it was Adam Pierce was talking to Dominic Mysterio, right?
Well, yes, technically, but Adam Pierce never talks to anyone. He's just screaming at them in various
What?
degrees of volume.
No, he talks to the dudes, except I guess he thinks Dominic's got like, you know, too whiny or too girly for him or something because he yells at him like he does all the other like he does the women. Um
Like all the other women, you had it right.
yeah. But he's telling Dominic that he needs to take his medical evaluation and Dominic is not having that. He was trying to say stuff like Roxanne and Raquel need him at the ringside for their tag team title defense, and Pierce Pierce says that his tone is gonna change if he has to ask Dominic a third time. So that's like I get to see him at home, like, if I have to tell you to how to wash these dishes a third time, my tone will be different. Like,
Yeah, it's going to sound like a forehand followed by a backhand.
followed by a backhand, yes. But yeah, Dominic, he's just trying to get out of this, and Pierce is telling him to quit stalling. Dominic's like, I ain't stalling, like
While he's
Raquel and
stalling.
Roxanne needs his help. And after such, AJ Styles comes by as a janitor. Dominic tells AJ that he's not cleared, and AJ says that he needs to be cleared by the time he's done mopping. And then AJ bumped into New Day. AJ's telling them to be careful. He didn't want them to slip. And Woods is like, what the hell is happening? Like, what is going on right now? Both of them are just like freaking out.
Kofi was like, the Matrix is glitched.
Yes. He wants out of the simulation, y'all. Um, but they can't understand like Pierce, like how he's ruining the tag team division. There's another El Grande Americano running around. Uh, and Woods is like, New Day, this is the greatest tag team of all time, so they need to do something to restore order in the division. But they need an advantage. So suddenly Grayson Waller appears. He has joined the chat. And he says that Austin Theory is a town down, and he got himself injured. I don't know when. It certainly wasn't in the ring unless it was like a dark match.
Right. It wasn't on TV, that's for sure.
Unless it was like an OnlyFans thing.
Oh no, I don't want to know what the injury is.
You guys know what the injury is. Okay, anyway. He got
A-Town
himself
going
injured.
down. Oh no.
Yeah, so therefore A-Town Down Under has been disbanded. And Grayson says that he's down to be a New Day's ace, which you guys know what that means. Anyway,
To which
both.
the New Day was like,
Oh, okay.
what the
Yeah.
hell?
No, they were like, "Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, all right. That's good news."
Yeah, he wants
Sure.
to be Big G.
Yeah, but then when he walked off, they were like, "What the hell?" So,
Yep. I think that was exactly how Xavier said it too.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I listen. I listen. Um
You see it.
you see it. You see it. Okay. Gotta do a little spin. Kick the leg out. You see it. Okay. After that little segment, we get Becky Lynch coming out to the ring. And people are cheering, but some people are booing. It's the perfect response for the man. And she comes out very dramatic with her, "No, no, no, don't you do that. No, no, hey,
No, no.
no. You put some appreciation on my name," she says.
And it's like you can tell she's been a mom for the past couple of years.
Yeah, the no, she had the mom no perfect. Like I
Don't
was
you do that?
I was eating chips when she said that, and I put my chip down. I was like, "Damn, okay, what'd I do?"
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, when I figured out she wasn't talking to me, I continued eating my chips just in case you guys were interested, because I know that's what you're here for. You're here to get the chip deets.
What kind of
Anyway,
chips?
oh, they were the jalapeno,
Were they
the
kettle cooked?
jalapeno kettle cook. Y'all know
Get
about them.
kettle cooked.
Y'all know about them kettle cooked chips. Them jalapenos. Y'all
Yeah,
know
they're good. They're super good.
they are
Not sponsored,
delicious.
by the way. We just like kettle cooked
I
jalapeno
mean,
chips.
we could be sponsored.
Yeah,
Listen.
yeah. If you're out there and you're kettle cooking some jalapeno chips and you got some money you want to throw our way,
Yeah, yeah. And also, you'll be happy to know, morals, we are not distracted by them. I'm just kidding. Um,
what moral quandary would kettle cooked chips put someone into?
I mean, you never know. You don't know what these corporations are into. Like they probably feed kittens like jalapeno chips until they explode to see how many it takes
That's how they make them.
to no, they gotta test them to see how many it takes to explode a kitten for some reason. You see, I'm so sorry for that image, guys. I feel bad even saying it. Hug your cat today. Okay.
And don't give them
Um,
kettle cooked chips.
don't give them kettle cooked chips because you don't want that. You don't want that. Um, I don't even know why they would eat kettle cooked chip. Like, why would they be like, jalapeno? Uh, I don't know.
Skinty
I
way.
I may have probably lost my mind at some point. So after Becky Lynch moms us all, she mentions that she shouldn't even be here or be there. Um, she should be in New York at the premiere for her new movie Happy Gilmore 2, which I'm like, girl,
Apparently,
when
is cast with 98% professional wrestlers.
yeah, that makes sense. Cause I'm just saying, I don't think I would tell anybody that I was in. Listen. Hang on. Let me just say that I like Adam Sandler. I do. A lot of his stuff is funny. It is. However, it's not just the fact that it's Happy Gilmore 2. It's the fact that it's Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. And they notoriously make ass movies. So I don't have much faith that Happy Gilmore 2 is going to be a banger. That's all I'm saying. So, but hey, what movie have I been in? You know what I mean? So you go, girl, you go get it. Uh, but because she didn't go to her premiere, instead she is here in Houston. Uh, but hey, that's what leaders do. They don't always do what they want to do, but they do what they have to do. And
Man, she should say that to John Cena.
damn, uh, and she had to address some important business. At Evolution, she had the slickest victory of all time. She's not lying. That was pretty slick.
Yeah, it
People
was
are
pretty
calling
slick.
it. People are calling it the slickest victory of all time. It's not just her saying that. Other
No,
people
I
are
mean we
saying
said
that
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're part of those other people.
yeah. Other people are saying that too. So it's not just
We
her.
are very fine people.
Yeah, we're very fine. Okay, so there you go. Um, but she did what she said she was going to do. She won, and she held everybody down. And at least she was honest about it. Unlike Lyra Vacuria, who spent months, she's been crying about how she was how it was a theft of opportunities for her. And yet, what is she doing now? She's bogarting all the opportunities to this title. And not only that, but she has an opportunity to win the tag team titles. Like how greedy can you be? And honestly, I agree. I agree. Who needs two titles? She says. I mean, of
Wow.
course, whenever
She must be
she,
pissed at Mercedes Monet.
oh yeah, well, you know what I mean. Um, come on. But she's not talking about when she did it. Okay, whenever Becky walked out of the MetLife Stadium, the home of SummerSlam, as Becky Two Belts, that was different. That was revolutionary. Okay, it was groundbreaking. Um, her intentions, Becky's, or no, not hers. I'm sorry. Um, Lyra's. Her intentions are purely selfish. But as the leader of the division, Becky intended to end it. See what I did there? She calls Lyra out,
Hmm?
and Lyra comes out. Uh, and I mean, like, Becky is really good at being a heel, but she continues with basically talking about how good she is and how amazing she is and what she's done for Lyra and Lyra's career. Um, and basically, I think she said that when Lyra loses at SummerSlam, she cannot challenge for this title again, like challenge Becky for the title again. Um, and Lyra responds with, "You know what I'm learning? Every time I think I've dealt with a problem, it seems to come back to haunt me," and that's true. Lyra's really good on the mic, by the way. Maybe my problem
Yeah.
is I never take it quite far enough. So I accept your terms. Here's mine. No countouts, no disqualifications. There must be a winner. Becky says, fine, fine. And Lyra says, see you at SummerSlam. She's about to leave. But Becky's like, okay, hey. Before you go, you have done nothing but disrespect me for months. You will not disrespect the gravitas of this match. This is the most important match that this title will ever have because it will determine the future of this championship. So you'll respect this match and you will respect me. Once again, I'll be the bigger person and ask you to shake my hand. And I believe that Lyra goes to shake her hand, but then Becky tries to attack her, and Lyra ends up giving her the manhandle slam
Like
to close
10
that.
megaton manhandle slam. Like
Yeah,
Becky wishes she threw one that good.
yeah. And I think that's how that segment was closed.
It
So,
was.
unless, and I'm hoping that they have more altercations before this match at SummerSlam, because if not, that would mean that Becky would win this match. So, I'm you guys know my theory. My theory that the back and forth usually signifies like the last person to get the last hit before the actual match is the person that will not win. The
Oh,
person who's up. You know what I mean?
I'm going to make two predictions right now.
Okay.
One, the man will probably get her lick back. And two, with a stipulation like Lyra Valkyria never being able to challenge for the mid card belt when like she's perfect for it, Lyra's gonna win. Like, and that's not a surprise to anyone. You said from the out that like this has to end with Lyra with that belt.
Yeah.
And so this is the one for all the chips.
Yeah,
And
I
it
believe so.
I foresee Lyra walking out of SummerSlam with that belt.
Yeah, I agree. And that led us to the third match of the night. And it was really weird that Lyra was trying to leave the ring when she was the next match. You know what I mean? Isn't
Yeah,
that
yep.
weird? Yeah, that's kind of what was she gonna do. Just walk out,
Maybe
like
she
back
forgot.
down
She
the
was like, "Oh,
back.
right."
Right, she's gonna walk back down the ramp, and then her music cuts on again, and she just turns back around, just U-turn.
Yeah. Well, maybe they wanted the crowd to get to woo again.
Yeah, no.
No.
She ain't no Jey Uso. You don't get
She
to
doesn't get to run it back.
you don't get to run it back. That's a Uso thing. Anyway, third match, the Judgment Day with Dominic Mysterio. Judgment Day being Raquel and Roxanne. Um versus Bailey and Lyra Valkyria for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship. Now, I don't think that it's any mystery. I don't think it's any secret that the Judgment Day would win this match. Um I'm not even
What?
sure. I'm not
It
even
was complete
sure.
Mysterio to me.
I'm not even sure. We'll just move past this. We'll move past quickly. I'm not even sure what uh what the point of this match was. I mean, with Bailey and Lyra, other than letting them or giving them the opportunity to have a match on Monday Night Raw. I don't know. I don't know anyone who saw this and thought that they were going to come out with the belts. I mean, honestly, this was a very weird, weirdly put together match for me. But was it bad? No, wasn't a bad match. Um, again, I think I even said it when we were watching this match. Like WWE is really pushing Raquel's dominance right now, and it's really good to see. Um, and I mean, I guess that might be giving away the ending before everything else, but it was a really good match. All parties looked good. Um, though confusing, Bailey and Lyra looked good together, even as a tag team. There were some weird parts in there where the commentators, I felt like they were trying to tell us what we saw instead of us seeing exactly what the hell they were talking about. If that makes any sense, guys. Because I
It
mean,
does.
yeah, there was a time like they were talking about the harshness by which somebody was tagged in when it came to Bailey and Lyra, and I was like, it was just a regular tag. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Yeah,
Um,
Bailey went for a tag and Lyra flinched like she was gonna get beat like a bad dog.
yeah, yes, and I mean, and they were like, what's that? And I'm like, I don't know what that was, but it's not what you guys just fucking said it was. Um, but I mean, other than that, I just felt like they were trying to tell a very weird story that may not have come across. It may not, like, I may not have gotten the gist of it. If somebody else has, please, leave a comment and let me know, because maybe it just went over my little stoner head or something. I didn't catch it. Um, I didn't even catch the point for this match. But aside from why we had it, it was still a decent match. It was uh I I I I think it was a good middle match for sure. Keep everybody hyped, keep the energy going. Um and it ended with a very definitive once again a very definitive Tejano. What is it? What she call it? Tejano bomb?
Yep.
Yeah. I think they changed the name of that at one point or something, but yeah, it was like there was no questions asked. That it was done. It was a done deal after that.
I think it started as the Tijuana bomb and then it became the Tejana bomb.
That's right.
And then it was briefly the Tortilla Grande from Taco Bell. And then they moved it back to the Tejana bomb because of copyright.
Oh my god. That's a Mexican pizza.
It was this the splat of the Mexican pizza, and she was like, "Nah, people are like thinking I'm a Taco Bell product."
Oh no, the chicken flautas.
Yep, the flauta liner. Um,
No, the pollo loco.
the Pollo Loco. That's El Grande Americano's new tag partner. Um,
El pollo loco.
El Pollo Loco.
Oh my god.
I'm inclined to agree with you on pretty much all counts. It was a very strange, out of nowhere setup for Bailey to tag with Lyra after the past several months of being adversaries. Um, they did put on a solid match, and I agree with you as well. And I don't know whose fault this is. Like, I don't know if Bailey and Lyra were just working too well together in the ring versus what the announcers were told was supposed to be going on. But the announcers were trying to make it sound like there was way more tension, friction, and angst between the two of them than what we saw in the ring.
Yeah.
Um, and they, to be fair, they put on a solid match. Roxy and Raquel are looking great, and I mean Bailey and Lyra, of course. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it really didn't break down until there were ringside shenanigans from not Ray. I'm sorry, I keep doing that. Dominic Mysterio, um, where I think Raquel kicked Dominic in the face on accident, and Dominic acted like he was dead. So they were like, "Oh, we need to get the ringside doctors out here." And first they had like this woman who was holding on to his neck, and then somebody else came over to put like CPR compressions on him, and it's AJ Styles. And so Mysterio freaks out and takes out running. And while all of that's going on, Becky Lynch at some point came out of nowhere. I don't know if she was under the ring or in the crowd or what, but she I want to say attacks Lyra um and then fails to roll under the ring because she was stuck on the apron cover.
Yeah.
um but it all ends up resulting in Bailey getting a gigantic Tejana bomb from Raquel Rodriguez
Oh
to
yeah.
pick up the victory in a very dominant fashion
Yeah. From like space. She's kind of
from space.
adopted. She's kind of adopted Rhea's pin. Uh,
The
or the pin.
you'll need a pregnancy test after this
Yeah,
pin.
yeah, she's kind of adopted that pin. And I mean, like, Rhea doesn't own the pin. I'm just saying she's picked a very dominant uh position for the pin, and I mean it works.
Yeah, I'm fine with the mount me daddy pins. Those are fine. Because that's what it looks like, right? It's like not only am I pinning you, but I have mounted you. Now go forth and have my children. She seemed to say. Um, but yes, I agree. She's definitely picked that up, and I can't help but feel like this dominance from Raquel is to make her a credible contender to fight against Rhea, which is what I think they're building towards.
Yeah. Yeah. And now because of how dominant they're making her look, I am here for it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like, well, I mean, Rhea Ripley's just going to destroy this woman. It actually looks like, well, maybe it could be a good fight.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
though the reasons for it happening seemed weird, it was a good match nonetheless.
Yeah.
And it just turned into chaos, advancing like multiple different storylines. Like we got more of the Dominic and AJ drama, and AJ Styles is apparently the new master of disguise. If he isn't your valet, he's actually the janitor, or is he the ringside doctor? You don't know. Ta-da!
Yeah. He's everywhere. He's everywhere
He's
and
AJ
nowhere.
47,
J47.
the Styles man. Um. Anyway, I think it's pretty phenomenal.
See what you did there.
Following that match, we are brought to Jackie Redmond, who is having an interview with Sami Zayn, who is here for some reason when he was out indefinitely because his ribs were broken in 87,000 million pieces.
Yeah.
But he's back, and though he says
Shook it
he's not
off.
at 100%, he's at enough of a percentage to want to get into the ring, and he goes on to say that this issue with Karrion Kross has dragged on for far too long. It's one thing when Karrion was just doing cryptic rhetoric and whatnot, but now he's actively getting in the way of Sammy's goals. And Sammy laments that Karrion cost him the opportunity to participate in last week's SummerSlam Gauntlet match, which, I mean, let's be real, Sammy. All you would have done is be like the number 5 guy to lose, because it was always going to be CM Punk.
True.
They had already built heat between him and Gunter. Don't you know how this works, buddy? And Sammy goes on to tell Jackie that he's ready to finish things with Cross right now. And I'm thinking, you're already
Yeah.
half ass whooped. Like, the only thing you're going to finish is yourself off, is what's going to happen. You're going to, like, I really want to be out indefinitely. This I could recover from. What's this bullshit?
Yeah, I can recover from this. I would like the KO treatment, please.
Yes, I thought we discussed a career-ending injury, and this only was a sideline.
Yeah, this only took 2 ribs. I'm trying to just crush the whole lot. If we could just.
I would like to vomit rib goo, please. This isn't working for me.
Yeah, like I haven't thrown up my insides yet. Haven't. I've seen no powdered rib.
Yeah, he was promised some powdered rib and he didn't get it.
Promised. Promised.
So I think they gave us after that a video package of Roman Reigns getting his ass whipped at WrestleMania. And it was a weird video because it ended with like Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman, and then they were like, "That's right, Roman Reigns is here tonight," and it's like, "What?"
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was
was
about him.
weird.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty weird. There's been some kind of weird stuff going on from Friday Night SmackDown and Monday Night Raw, but Monday Night Raw, like you guys heard us from the jump, was considerably better than SmackDown. SmackDown was depressingly bad. Um, but I mean, there was just some weird stuff on both sides though, on both shows. Weird stuff.
Agreed. But after they showed us Roman Reigns getting destroyed in a ring filled with like 4 other people, which was apparently to indicate Roman Reigns' return, we're taken backstage where Dominic Mysterio is having a panic attack and Finn and JD are telling him to chill. But then Adam Pearce shows up, and this time he's looking at Dominic like as if Dominic were full on a female competitor, and he's ready to give him the forehand, the backhand, the overhand, and the underhand.
Yeah.
And suffice it to say, he's pissed, and he's giving Dominic 2 options, left or right. I mean, one, he gives Pierce back the Intercontinental Championship, or option 2, he goes and gets his medical evaluation right now. So Pierce is done with Dominic's stalling.
Yeah. He's had enough of that shit.
But that domestic violence leads us to Sami Zayn versus Karrion Kross with Scarlett Bordeaux for our 4th match of the evening. And
Oh boy.
you know, I hear that Karrion Kross is very, very popular right now. Has been since WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, cool, Karrion's going to be in a match. Well, they decided to completely skip Karrion's intro in favor of whatever bullshit they decided to show us. And we basically start the match with both men in the ring.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so Karrion Kross finally gets to be in the ring and you skip his intro, which is kind of a big thing for Karrion. But okay. And do you mind if I just generally give my thoughts on this match first?
No, go ahead.
All right. So it was an okay match, but it really wasn't anything to write home about. Like it wasn't bad, but there wasn't anything in this where I was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
You know, Karrion is basically, I mean, it's a typical Sami Zayn match where he's 90% of the match getting his ass kicked. And Karrion continues to insist that Zayn say that Karrion told the truth. And after an okay match, we are brought to an ending where Scarlett gives a pipe to Karrion when he's, down in one of the corners. And then she runs around and distracts the referee by grabbing Sami Zayn's ankle as he was going for the haluva kick. And that distracts the ref. And then Zayn's like, well, screw you. I'm going to do this haluva kick. And he runs straight into a pipe in the ribs, which allows Karrion to get the win. And I think the most significant thing, and I said this when we were watching it, is that might be the first time Scarlett's grabbed any other ankle besides her own. Oh, I thought I had shocked you into silence. You were laughing. Okay, good.
That's good stuff.
But that was my overall impression of this match. It felt like filler, and it feels more like the WWE is just like carrying who.
Yeah, I don't have a different one than what you have. I don't know why it's so hard for them to figure out what to do with Carrion. And I guess we should be thankful that they're doing something with him. Period. Especially with one of their bigger superstars. But unless this goes somewhere like where he ends up with a cult following or something, where he ends up with like a faction or something like that. If this doesn't end that way, then I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Um, yeah, not
Yeah.
really sure what we're doing here. Not really sure where we're going with this.
Like, I can't tell. It feels to me like the WWE creative, aka Triple H, really super resents anybody getting over with the crowd on their own, where it makes creative have to pivot at all to deal
Yeah.
with the inconvenience of somebody really going over with the crowd in a way they didn't expect or plan for. Because I feel like they're just wasting the momentum carrying built from WrestleMania in much the same way they are completely wasting the whole Ron Killings thing by doing jack and
Oh,
shit with it.
yeah. They. I don't think they give a shit about what happens to him.
So I don't know if it's that or if they are trying to put some sort of storyline in place for carrying it, and this is just the stall tactic while they're doing that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, it's getting to the point where I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, clearly, it feels to me like clearly the WWE doesn't give a fuck that Karrion Cross has a huge amount of momentum and is like the number two top selling merchandise guy because of it. You know, they're like, well, whatever, dude. So I don't know what to make of it. And you know, him just floundering in matches. I mean, it's better than him never having a match, but not by much. You know, like it's not.
Yeah.
I'm with you. This needs to go some fucking where. So, you know, and I feel very much the same way about Ron Killings. Like, we talked about that a bit on SmackDown, but the whole dramatic, you know, he cuts his dreads off and indicates that our truth is dead, and not even the announcers can stop themselves from calling him our truth. And they decided to portray it as like, ooh, it's a little bit multiple personality disorder instead of it's just Ron Killings, has never really let it set in. So it's like, okay, you know, you're kind of piffling carrying Cross's momentum, and you piffled what you could have done something with Ron Killings. So, eh. Apparently, the message is don't get over on your own, or if you do, leave fucking WWE and go to TNA or AEW where you can actually capitalize on it, because WWE creative was apparently never so tyrannical just because of Vince McMahon, because he gone. It's the Triple H era, y'all, and it ain't shit changed.
Yeah. Ain't shit changed. You ain't wrong. I mean,
So,
things have gotten better, but I see too many similarities where I'm thinking, was it Vince? Like, I'm not too
no,
sure about
no,
that. I'm
I'm
not too
seeing,
convinced that it was Vince.
yeah, I'm seeing too much of the same control freak shit from Triple H. Now, I'm sure he'll be like, it's a work. Oh, and if you have an opinion, fuck you. Because that's all him and like The Rock have had to say to people like you and I. So, cool
Yeah.
story, bro. Um, Sounds like your butt hurts, but I mean, it's uncompelling. That like people get excited only to be let down in this kind of fashion. You know, it's not like we saw them going into a match and they lost, and it's that kind of letdown. It's more like, oh, you guys never gave a shit about the fact that the crowd liked this guy or this other guy. I'm like,
Yeah.
how the hell did Brian Danielson ever get off the ground then? Like, that must have just been like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Um,
I have no idea. But I mean, you saw what happened. He's not there anymore, so
yeah. Um, yeah, so it's not sounding like, with the exception of like at least known sexual allegations, it's not that different than the Vince McMahon era, honestly. Except for the fact that TKO keeps pulling like worse shit for on the corporate side than Vince even did.
Yeah.
So yeah, not so hot. That's not a good look. WWE do better.
Yeah. Please. TKO. I don't even know what to say to you.
Yeah. At a time when WWE is recording like their most historic profits, and we know it because you won't shut the fuck up about it at every possible opportunity. um what's this bullshit of like your corporate employees' severance packages getting cut to where it's only 2 weeks, whereas under the Vince McMahon regime, that tyrant, he gave them a fucking month's worth of pay for each year of service. You know that objectively we can say you are now worse than Vince McMahon. Like it's not even a debate, at least in that regard.
Yeah.
So yeah,
SMH.
get kettle cooked. Um But Karrion wins after piping Zayn with Scarlett's help.
That I don't like the way that sounds.
That sounded like a bad porno.
I
But
want nothing to do with
it's
that.
basically accurate. Karrion wins through the cunning use of a steel pipe. Which I'm not sure is putting him over, really. Like, you can't beat Sami Zayn without beating him to death with a steel pipe. Then who the
He's
hell else
already
can you
injured.
wrestle on the roster?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe Ron Killings. There you go.
Yeah, put them together, and then maybe Ron will finally win some matches.
Or maybe Karrion will, without needing to beat somebody up with a steel pipe. Because it's not like you're 6'5" and 250 pounds, you gorilla. Why do you need a steel pipe to beat Sami
He's a
Zayn?
giant, massive fucking man, this dude. It's real talk, he's huge, this guy. Karrion Kross is a wall of doom. And they just, I don't know, man. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah. When he's that
Let
damn
him
big,
go. Give him
rat
to
heel is
AEW.
not the direction to go.
Yeah, I'll say it. I said it. Give him to AEW. I feel like he'd have a much better push there. Look at Ricochet.
I don't know. The last thing I heard from AEW is that they're going to reconsider hiring WWE scraps because that's gone
I
great
know,
for them.
but that is not. But he's not one of WWE scraps. He's somebody that WWE has strapped down for some fucking reason. Like he can't get anywhere. And if you think about it, what would his push be? What would he be going for? You know what they would do with him? His push would be he would be just another Drew McIntyre. That's the only inevitable push for him. And what is Drew doing right now? Losing. What is he about to do at SummerSlam? Lose again. Like, that's all he's done.
Yeah.
But he comes out and he talks good shit, and he's the mouthiest, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my god, jobber.
Scotsman? Jobber? Okay.
Jobber. Yes, he's the mouthiest jobber in WWE right now. He loses more than Carmelo Hayes, but he talks more shit. And he's clever. He's got a lot of clever quirks. So does Karrion. So if they give him a push, that's his future. So I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
I feel bad a bit for Drew McIntyre. I mean, I'm sure he's collecting a fat paycheck, and if that's all you want out of your career, fine, enjoy the coasting. But
he's a goddamn action figure, that dude.
He looks, he's a walking action hero. Like, he is ridiculous how he looks for the position that he's in.
Yeah. And what do they do with that? Put CM Punk in a better position. That's what they do.
What they do with that is he's sticking with Logan Paul, and he goes against Randy Orton, who is in a similar position, and Jelly Roll. So that's what they do with that.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, I imagine that'll be a fun match, but neither Randy Orton or Drew McIntyre should be doing anything but chasing the fucking heavyweight championship and probably winning it. So
Yep.
But
Took the words right out my mouth. My mouth.
following that match, we are brought to AJ Styles and Adam Pearce, who are both waiting Dominic Mysterio's medical evaluation. And the doctor comes out, doctor, air quotes, with like a clipboard and says that he needs more time to make a final determination. And I'm like, do you? Like,
Yeah.
if you have the results in your hand, he said, I got to go file this paperwork. I'm like, what the fuck you need to file? But hey, whatever. He's like set crew guy from NXT 356 that they're having portray the doctor, so it's whatever. So it's at that point that Dominic Mysterio, who was apparently not in the doctor's office somehow, comes out of nowhere and clocks AJ with the Intercontinental Championship, and he tells Pierce that he's medically cleared, and he tells AJ, "I'll see you at SummerSlam," and then he like spins on the paperwork that the doctor needed, and like kind of kicks it at AJ Styles before we ended that segment.
Yes. And okay. I'm excited. I'm excited for the fight. I'd like to see AJ and Dom go at it. I'd like to see Dom in the ring more often in general. AJ is another guy though that's in one of those positions where it's like he is what are we doing? What are we doing? Like I know a lot of people don't like the cut of his jib, like they don't like his acting chops in general. Uh he's kind of vanilla toast to a lot of people. But AJ at his age still wrestles the way he did when he was in his 20s. And I don't know of another wrestler that I could say that about. The older they get, the more they change their move set to fit their bodies, which is that makes perfect sense. Uh, for example, Adam Copeland doesn't do nearly as much of the insane shit that he used to do in his younger. I mean, he can't, and that's cool. So he has changed his move set to better fit his wrestling style. Now he's more methodical and calculating and does some really cool shit that puts you on your ass because he was just more clever than you. And I appreciate that. AJ, however, I appreciate the fact that he didn't have to. The stuff that he was doing when he was 28, he's still doing, and he can
Yep.
still do very well. Um, and whatever you think about the guy, you can't deny the skill and the talent and the strength that this dude has. So he should be getting a push. He left, came back looking like he ate all the muscle of his older self and did some kind of ritual and absorbed his soul twice, and now he's AJ Ripped is his name.
It's like that movie The One. He went and killed all of the other alternate universe versions of himself.
Yes. Yeah, and now he is the victor. So yeah, honestly, my man definitely needs more of a push than he's getting. Will he get it though? Probably not. And I know that
Yeah.
people are saying, well, if they pushed all their older talent, then what would the newer talent or the younger talent be doing? And my answer to that is exactly what they're already doing. Tell me what Carmelo Hayes is doing. Where's Austin Theory again? What about Grayson Waller? Um, it doesn't matter. You can say whatever you want about like the age and how they're younger. They should be getting pushes. It's not even about that. Sammy's still
Yeah.
getting pushes. He's still out there. He's still competing for. It's not about that. It's
No.
not. So yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say I agree with you, and to the way I would say it is that the WWE has far more talent than they have spotlight.
Yeah.
That's just the real truth of the matter. And of
Yes.
course, they want to try and build up these younger guys because their business model demands that somebody stick around and not quit to go to Hollywood or, jump ship to the other promotion or
Yeah.
just get old and get hurt and we can't build around this dude no more. So I get it. But at the same time, you then find yourself in the opposite end of that problem where you have some very healthy, very talented, very well known superstars that you have basically riding that mid card dick when they should be at the top.
Yep.
So I agree with you in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That
Good,
said,
good,
that
good.
that brings us to, speaking of riding that mid card dick, now that brings us to the fifth match, which is Io Sky versus Stephanie Becker.
I can say just for my part with this match, this is probably match of the night for me. Um, again, Io is she's kind of crazy. Sometimes she makes me nervous whenever she's hitting another opponent because I'm like, did you really just hit this bitch? Like, I've seen her uppercut somebody like, and I'm like, no, you just uppercutted her for real. Like she bit her lip and now she's gonna fucking hate you. Um, she's
Oh, with that shote that she does.
yeah, yeah, she's crazy. She's crazy, but there's just something about watching her in the ring. It's really good. And Stephanie is growing on me. Um, I it's
She's like a fungus.
yeah, she's growing on me. I wish that they would come off of some of the stuff that she does, and I'd just like to watch her actually perform instead of perform. If you get my drift. Um,
You mean
I
you
think.
don't like the devil's kiss? It's not your favorite
Well,
move?
it's not that I don't like it. I just don't get the point of it. I'm not really sure what people are freaking out about. I mean, I mean, I know what they're freaking out about, but I don't really get it
Yeah.
with her. I'm not really sure I understand what the alert. If Naomi did it, I would totally understand, and I'm not. That's all I'm gonna say about it. I would totally understand. That's all. Uh, it's somebody's birthday at that point. There's cake everywhere. But but I don't really get it whenever Stephanie does it and the audience is like, "Oh!" I'm like, okay. But aside from that, and I feel like she does it a lot too. But I mean, hey, that's what people want. They want to see it. So I'm not giving her any shit for that. Uh, I'm just saying I don't get it.
I hear what you're saying, and I think you're saying that part of the reason you don't get it is that you don't look at Stephanie the same way that like a lot of people look at Stephanie.
Yeah, yeah, maybe that's what I'm
But
saying.
she's
Yeah, yeah.
basically bouncing her ass in the air. That's it. That's the whole 9 yards. And I think the
Yeah.
reason she's leaning into it is
Mhm.
because it's what's popular. I mean, she's a performer. She probably is like, well, what'll get a reaction? Ah, this.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll do this more. It's now her catchphrase.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
totally get it.
so, but I fully agree with you. This was a banger. Stephanie
Mhm.
Vaquer and Io Sky were bringing it. Um, and I was really into it. This is one of those types of matches where there is inevitable interference. And we were
Yeah.
both talking about it, like who's going to interfere in this match, and we were trying to
Yeah.
think of it. I was like, well, Vaquer has had an issue with the Secret Hervis, but they're like over on SmackDown, and it was like, maybe Naomi because she, talked to Io Sky earlier in the evening, and she's one of her opponents coming up. And so we're sitting there trying to figure out who's going to interfere. Turns out the answer is yes. Literally everyone
Yep.
that is at all involved in this. Like the Secret Hervis took a field trip to Monday Night Raw specifically to end up attacking Stephanie Vaquer. And Stephanie gets distracted by Alba Fire and Piper Niven just long enough for Chelsea to sneak in behind her and attack her from behind, forcing the disqualification.
Yeah.
And then after the match, the Secret Service all gang up trying to fight Vicker, but Io helps drive them off. But then Naomi shows up and attacks Io Sky. And this goes on for a little bit until it prompts Rhea Ripley to come out. And then she, Vicker, and Io send Naomi and the Secret Service packing. And it ultimately results in Chelsea Green getting a gigantic riptide.
I mean, gigantic.
Massive riptide. And I mean, for the record, I believe the Secret Service were dressed in their uniforms and everybody else was wearing wrestling gear, but I swear it looked like Chelsea Green just showed up in the ring with what she was wearing to the club that night.
It did, yes. For real. She looked like she was just like, oh my god, I have to be out there tonight? Shit.
Right? Like she didn't know until they were like right outside a gorilla and she's like, wait, I gotta go out there?
Like, wait, tonight me? Yeah. And so she's like just made the best of it. Went out there and
Yeah.
did it. Who did her
Don't get me
thing?
wrong. I mean, Chelsea has a banging body and she looked great in what she was wearing, but she did not look like she was wearing wrestling gear.
Yeah. Looked like she was just coming back from her other job.
Do I want to know what's her other job?
I'm just saying she has another job. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I won't say anymore. I don't want to put her on blast. I won't say too much.
Well,
It's just
only
that
fans might know what her other job is. I'm not sure.
Nah, they wouldn't let her do that.
No, you're right.
Like you already know.
But yeah, Rhea Ripley and Vicker and Io end up standing tall over all of the interference.
Better
And
not make money any other way.
the crowd the crowd popped off in Houston for Rhea Ripley. They were excited to see her.
Yeah. How dare you? We're the only ones that give you money. You understand me?
Right? Only ones. Um
Only ones.
that's the fan site for the original Bloodline. Only ones.
Ah! Oh, don't look that up, guys. Don't look that up. I don't know what it is for real, and I don't want it to, I don't want it to actually be something.
Speaking of the OG Bloodline,
Mhm.
before I move on, that was Stephanie Vaquer won that match via disqualification, so now she can go back up to Io and say, "See, before interference, I had your ass." And then they'll have to fight again. But speaking of the OG Bloodline, did you guys know that Roman Reigns was here tonight?
It's
Because if you
true.
didn't, they told us like 15 times during the
15
show.
different times, yes.
But instead of Roman Reigns coming out, despite the fact they kept telling us that Roman Reigns is here, instead Paul Heyman comes out. And he's out with the Bronsons. And he's got the mic, and he, of course, says, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Paul Heyman." And he indicates that he's out there with the future of the industry, Braun Breaker, and no one else. No, and then he said also Big Bronson Reed. And he says before he comes out, I have a lot of things to get off my chest. About 30 pounds, it looks like. No,
Damn.
ice cold. But before he can say
Cold-blooded.
anything further, Roman Reigns' entrance starts queuing up. And I was sitting there thinking, well, Paul, this is a Roman Reigns entrance. You got about 10 minutes. You could keep trying to get some
Yeah, you
stuff
could
off your
still say some
chest.
shit. Yeah.
But Houston explodes for the OTC or OTC1 or whatever he's going by these days. The tribal chief. And once Roman makes his way to the ring, about 25 minutes later, Paul Heyman is trying to say something, and the crowd is shutting him down. But eventually he tries to power through. And he says, I don't want to be disrespectful or rude, but you're off to a bad start with me tonight. He said that to the crowd, not to Roman. And he says, I apologize. This he is saying to Roman. I don't ever want to be where it seems like I would be disrespectful, rude, like someone born in Texas. But so you know, Seth is going to be out of action for a long time, which sort of has opened a leadership role over here. And he's kind of pointing to his side of the ring. Which means if you think about it, we can fix this. We can put it back together. And look who and what comes along with me, pointing at Braun Breaker and Big Bronson Reed. Because, deep in your heart, we were far better together than opposed. And he says, you'll always be family because I love you, my tribal chief. And the whole time, Roman's got this I could be eating a steak somewhere face instead of
True.
listening to this bullshit.
That's true.
And Roman says, I think the crowd started chanting. He says, let's just put that on pause. There's one thing I forgot to do. H-Town, acknowledge me. And I think he throws the one up, and the whole crowd also throws the ones up. And Paul Heyman threw the one up, a little pandering weasel. And he goes on to say, so Houston, what is he talking about? You want me to lead? A few years ago, I would have said those were wise words from a wise man, but you're not a wise man anymore. You're just a dumbass. And this gets Braun Breaker heated. Like, Braun Breaker is always almost heated all the time. So he's extra heated. Like, if he got any more heated, he'd be doing that side shuffle neck thing and snorting. And so Roman notices this and he says, well, now easy now, Junior.
Junior? No.
Try sitting under the learning tree and write this down, because he's going to do, and he's pointing at Paul Heyman, he's going to do to you the same thing as he did to me, because in a few years, when you're the man, he's going to take all the credit. And he looks at Paul and he says, that's what you're trying to do with me, right? You see, Houston, I've heard a lot of people trying to take responsibility for creating the tribal chief. But I can tell you firmly, it wasn't him. And the crowd's like, yeah. The only reason I'm the tribal chief is because they still acknowledge me, because he's responding to the crowd.
And they explode.
They explode. And he goes on to say, yeah, you're damn right. And the OTC was champion too, the greatest champion to ever step foot in this ring. And I will say, this man had a part in it, but he didn't have any part in me keeping that title. Nah, look at him. I mean, come on now. Pointing to the fact that he is a walrus in a suit. He said, no, the Usos did, and Solo did, and Sammy even helped out. And with each name, the crowd's popping. They're popping, and when he says Sammy, it's like Paul Heyman has a small aneurysm. And he says, yeah, I knew he'd love it. Yeah, yep. And he says, but yeah, I lose the title. I did. It only took 4 years, but I lost it. But then you told everybody that I tucked my tail and I went off to do whatever. But no, I went home to continue to raise the future bloodline, which brings me to family, you see. When you talk about the bloodline, that's all it is. It's family. You see, the dumbass here, he thought we were just another faction or something, just some wrestling group. Nah, you can create those, but you couldn't create the bloodline. That's God's work. And with all that, I ain't going to say it again. Back up, son, because he's now pointing at Braun Breaker, who is really close to popping a blood vessel. And he says, but you want to know something? None of that really bothers me. You really want to know what bothers me? What gets under my skin? You used to be just a friend to our family. You were just a business partner. I made you part of our family. You were chosen family to me. I gave you responsibility. And what did you do? And the crowd said he threw it all. Someone in the crowd said he threw it all away, and Roman responds to that and says, "You're damn right, he threw it all away." And he says, "You want to know what he threw it all away for? He threw it all away for a supposed best friend, someone that he hadn't even talked to in over a decade. And you betrayed me and my family for him? Nah, don't ever come out here." And he goes on to say that this is what the history books really need to understand. Don't come out here and say I ruined the bloodline. I didn't ruin it. This dumbass did. And at this point, Braun Breaker has broken his leash and the dog is growling. So he asks for the mic and he says, "Listen to me, Roman, and get this through your thick skull. Look around. We don't want you here anymore. You're yesterday's news. You're the old dog. Hell, you were relevant 5 years ago. That was your prime. You're just taking a spot standing in my ring. And I'm glad you didn't take this offer because I know Paul won't stab me in the back. You know why? I hold value in this place. You're worthless. I'm the big dog now. I'm the top dog now. I'm the future of the WWE. I'm the man around here now. So do what you do best, Roman. Turn around and leave." And Roman steps towards the ropes, but then he stops and he says, "Hey, I got to be completely honest. I didn't hear any of that trash you just said. I honestly don't think your mic was working. If you need one to say it again, please use mine." And Roman throws the microphone into Braun Breaker's face and then follows it immediately with a Superman punch, dropping Braun Breaker. And then he tangles it up with Big Bronson Reed, and he's in the corner just dropping these massive looking haymakers on him. I mean, like, Roman, people can say what they want to say, but Roman, when he throws a punch, a wrestling punch, he makes him look mean.
Yeah, he does.
But Reed manages to kind of fight his way out of that briefly, and I think he threw Roman out of the corner towards the opposite corner where Breaker speared Roman. And then that led to Breaker and Reed ganging up on Roman. And we're all like, well, shit, Tribal Chief. But then suddenly we hear it. What did we hear?
Uso!
And Jey Uso storms to the ring to make the save. And he was super excited to be coming to the ring with Roman in it because he did the little prayer hands like the jackal
Yeah,
on the way.
That's what
Like,
he's
he's
happy
like,
about it.
he was like, "Oh, it's time to eat." So he runs into the ring and he ends up super kicking the crap out of both of the Bronsons. And he ends up hitting the hip attack, I want to say, on Reed. And then he tees off with the little Jey Uso version of the People's Punch on Braun Breaker. And then between the two of them, Roman and Jey, they're able to deliver stereo spears on both of the Bronsons. And they end up scurrying away from the ring like little rodents with the King Rodent, Paul Heyman. And Jey goes over and helps Roman back on his feet, and Roman comes over to the ropes to, talk smack at him as they're hightailing it back up the entrance ramp. And that was how the show closed, with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso starting to perhaps reform the original Bloodline band.
Mayhaps.
And I got to say, I was here for that. That
Yeah.
made my night. It was Christmas to see Roman and Jey kicking the crap out of the Bronsons and giving the business to Paul Heyman. Great joy filled my heart.
It's true. Yeah, good times.
So, with a series of banging matches, even though, the Bailey Lyra thing was a little weird out of kind of a thing.
Weird, but still a good match,
Yeah, weird setup, good match. And the fact that this did a lot to develop the plot lines that are playing out as we head into SummerSlam. And then you end the night with Roman Reigns coming out there and whooping some ass, and then Jey Uso joining them. And this made top tier.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry,
Top tier.
SmackDown, but Raw made top tier.
No, I'm not sorry. SmackDown sucked. Like
Yeah.
it was bad. It was bad. Raw was much better. I would be very comfortable giving it 7.5 neck nubs. Maybe even 8. It was good.
Yeah. If you're saying it's top tier, that has to be an 8 at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll give it an 8. It was definitely an 8. Definitely worth it.
I'll say the same. I'll give it an 8. And maybe like a full point of that was just the last part because I was marking out so hard for Roman and Jay.
True.
But overall, a good show. I think the weakest match of the night, none of them were bad, but perhaps the one that I had the least emotional interest in was unfortunately Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn,
Yeah.
which was another one that sort of appeared out of nowhere because like Sami Zayn was indefinitely injured and then showed up like 2 weeks later. Like
Yeah.
indefinite is short term. But for what it's worth, we got to see a little of Karrion Kross, and I can only hope that they're building towards something. But on the whole, this was a fantastic show.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8 neck nubs, top tier.
Top tier.
Well, that has been our review of WWE Monday Night Raw. And I want to thank everybody who has joined us for this episode. And I would invite you to join us for our next episode, which will most likely be our coverage of Friday Night SmackDown this coming week. And until then, I don't think there's anything for me to do but roll the outro.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Top Tier Wrestling. We hope you enjoyed our deep dive into the latest WWE news and shows. You can find us on all major podcast platforms as well as our YouTube channel where we upload all of our episodes. You can also follow us on Instagram and X for updates and to join the conversation. Until next time, everyone, remember, wrestling is always better when it's top tier.